All right, let's get started. So thank you everyone for joining us here today, where we're going to be talking to you about how you can create awesome experiences in Excel with the Azure platform. My name's Kayer, and I love Excel. A couple of weeks ago, we were actually in New York visiting one of our customers and one of our partners. We had a great meeting. We learned a ton. Afterwards, my engineering manager and I, we were walking down the streets of New York, looking at the big, tall buildings. And we just had a cool moment where we just said, wow. Looking at all the big buildings, all the big windows, we're like, we wonder how many Excel spreadsheets are open right now. And it was even like a big event like this. I was telling someone, Ignite's like Disneyland for techies. And can you imagine like the number of spreadsheets that went behind the scenes in terms of putting in an event like this? I know like we had an internal sheet in terms of like booth duty and things like that. So Excel is really where users are. It's an awesome, flexible canvas, and it's super powerful, and it helps people actually organize their work and get to insights. And today we're going to talk to you about Office add-ins. Office add-ins let you bring your solution to Excel. They allow you to build rich, connected experiences that are intelligent at its core and that are available to where your users are. So traditionally, when you thought of Excel, it was like my dad's Excel, where it was traditionally only on Windows. But now with Office 365, people are consuming Excel spreadsheets on a variety of endpoints. Excel for the web, Excel for Mac, and even on mobile. So let's talk about what an Office add-in is. So an Office add-in really starts with you. It starts with your web application. We have a manifest file, and a manifest file, simple XML file, which has a pointer back to your web app. And magically, that makes it an add-in. That's it. Like at its core, it is really your web app. And once you've done that, your add-in can be deployed centrally by IT admins to wherever users are, regardless of whatever device they're working on. Likewise, end users can now also find your add-ins through the Office store. Now, given that it's a web app at its core, it can make any web API calls. It can leverage the rich Azure services, cloud storage, analytics. It can harness the full power of the Microsoft Graph. And with the Office JavaScript libraries, it can interact with not only Excel, but Outlook, Word, and PowerPoint. So that's a brief intro of what an Office add-in is. So I wanted to dive into our first demo. All right. So here we are. I'm on my Mac. I've actually preloaded an add-in, but let me show you how to get to an add-in first. So booting up Excel on the Insert tab, there's this Get Add-ins button. If I open that, what it's going to do is it's going to show me a few different tabs here. The first one is the store. So this is where I can go and acquire different add-ins that have been published through the store. These add-ins have gone through a validation process. So they've been verified by our validation team. And so I can choose any of these. If I'm going on my European vacation and I want to do some shopping, hey, here's this great add-in that helps me calculate my VAT tax discount. I can also see add-ins that my IT admin have previously deployed to my organization. And so here I see one from SAP, and I also see this other add-in called ScriptLab. Now, ScriptLab, if you're a developer, is an awesome add-in that will help you prototype, try, and share different code snippets for Excel. The quickest way to get ScriptLab is if you go back to the store, and in the search box, type in script space lab, and search for that, and you can go and add that. So I've already added script lab here because again, my IT admin knows I'm a developer, and or he or she has already deployed it to me. And so if I open up script lab, so now let's talk about the different components of an add-in. So first you have, your add-in can customize the ribbon. So it can add additional items here. Likewise, it can customize the right-click context menu. Here, if I click the code, it will pop open the code editor. And clicking that hamburger menu and some samples, I can see a list of different samples that I can do to call a variety of different APIs in Excel. So scrolling down, there's some basic things. There's samples for charting, commenting, creating functions, eventing. You name it, we have it. One of the things that, hey, if working with data, working with the web, one of the common formats that you may actually work with is JSON data. So let's take a look at how you can import JSON data into Excel. So I'll just search for JSON, and we can see a quick snippet here, which is import JSON data. And let me scroll down just so I can just show you the data. So here we have a list of transactions with some dates, a merchant, a category, and an amount. And I am going to go and import that. So before I run this, a couple of things. So what I'm going to do is go grab a worksheet called sample. If there's one here, I just delete it and re-add it. I am going to create a table object inside of Excel, call it my expenses table. We'll set the headers, and then essentially I'm going to say, hey, that JSON data that I've mapped to this variable, let me just go and add that to my table. Finally, I do some formatting with auto-fitting the rows and columns, and I call this await context.sync, which is going to take that batch of commands that I told Excel to do, and it will tell Excel to execute that. So if I run this, so I have a button, import JSON data. And now, as you can see, I've imported that JSON into a table object inside of Excel, where I can do further analysis on that. So it's not just about importing data. Excel comes with a rich library of over 400 different functions. These functions really are, to me, like the soul of Excel. And one of the things that we heard from developers was, hey, they wanted to extend the soul of Excel as part of add-ins. So at Build, we announced a general availability of JavaScript custom functions. JavaScript custom functions let you create your own function. And so what that looks like, here we have a sample function, and we're going to do some translations. So we have a function, and we can go and expose that. So instead of sum, I can have a equals translate. So if I've already gone and registered that function, so here I have this translate function, and we are just changing a few things. So let's say go Excel, and as I change that variable, Excel recalculates. And what it's doing here is, with a few lines of code, it's making a web request to an Azure function, which is calling Azure Cognitive Services. And it's doing the translation for me. And what's cool about this is, now that I've exposed this function inside of Excel, I can just use the general Excel patterns that I know and love to work with my data. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to fill this formula down, which is with the simple Command D, and fill that to the right. And I now have my values going to go and update. So if I wanted to know how to say, I want ice cream in Spanish, let's see, quiero helado. So my Spanish isn't that good, but I can learn now with this translate function in Excel. So you've seen a few of the different capabilities that Excel add-ins can do. Now let's take a look in terms of how one of our partners is bringing add-ins together to solve scenarios for their customers. With this, I'd like to invite Catherine to the stage from Atlassian.
Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Cheng, and I am a product manager at Atlassian. Atlassian helps teams work smarter, better, faster. We're the team, and everything we think about and dream about is around how we can make teamwork better. In fact, we have always had the mission to unleash the potential of every team by giving them the tools they need to succeed. We're the makers of Jira software, which is the #1 software development tool used by agile teams to plan and release great software. And as the makers of Jira, we firmly believe that when work is open, we unleash the potential of all the teams. And this is because when work is open, teams stay informed. You reduce chances of miscommunication and keep everyone aligned towards the same goal. Now, this is easy to do when your team is still relatively small, like when it's just you, your boss, and a couple of teammates. But what happens when your team starts to grow? Well, there might be you, your boss's boss. You might get a few new stakeholders along the way. And of course, you have your team. And when your organization starts to scale, you get a lot more teammates and also a lot more projects. It's very easy to become misaligned at this point. And that's when you start getting questions from your stakeholders like, are we delivering projects on time? Or are we billing projects correctly? Or even, how much more work teams take on? What do you do in this case? How do you keep everyone informed even as your organization grows? I'll tell you how. The secret lies in reports. Reports like burn-down charts that tell you how fast your teams are moving, reports like capacity charts that tell you which teams can take on more work, and even reports like project bills that tell you, well, how much you're supposed to be paying your teammates. But what is a report anyway? Let's define that. It's information that's been analyzed and visualized. Take a look at all of these reports and think for a second, what is the backbone of them? What's powering all of these reports? And the answer to this is it's information about teamwork. That's data on what's being worked on, what's been completed, as well as how much time and effort has been spent on each of the projects that are being worked on in your organization. Having access to all of this information and being able to generate insights out of it is critical to the success of team communication. And that's why today I am really excited to announce that we've built a tool working with Microsoft's APIs to help you get all the information you need about your team's work so that you can create the report you need to keep everyone in the organization informed. So, introducing the Jira Cloud for Excel add-in. As you know, Jira is the source of truth for your work. It contains all the details on information such as how you're going to plan, track, and release the projects you're working on. And combined with Excel, which is the most powerful spreadsheet tool of all, we've just created a super simple, elegant solution to help you get the information you need from Jira, visualize them, so that you can create the report you need to unleash the potential of your team. We've created not 1, 2, but 3 ways to help you quickly get all the information you need from Jira. And today we're going to talk through 2 of them. So if you're like me and you love getting things to work with just a few clicks, you're going to like this one. So here I am selecting a list of issues from a predefined view in Jira that contains all the work that's been completed. And just like that, within 2 clicks, we were able to get a bird's eye view of all the work that's been done in your organization. OK, if you're not like me, though, and you love your custom functions and flexibility, you're going to like this one more. Working with Microsoft, we've built a Jira custom function, where you can get all the issues you need by using Jira's querying language, like so. So here we are getting all the issues where the status is labeled in progress, and also ordering them by the creation date. Next, just apply all the information you want to see for each issue you're grabbing. And finally, give it some more information, such as the maximum number of issues you want to pull. Hit Enter, and there you go. So from here on, you can create fancy pivot tables as visualize the information in form of a report. And for example, here, at a glance, we see that most of our development resources are being allocated onto a project called Teams in Space. So we know reports aren't usually a one-off task. They're usually created periodically, such as on a daily basis when you want to review your burn down rate with your sprint team, or even during the weekly or monthly planning with your management team, stakeholders, or clients. And that is why we've created a way for you to easily update your reports and your data. All you have to do is go into the task pane and click that big blue button that says Refresh Data, and from there, you will get the latest, freshest information right in front of you. And from there, you will also see your report transform from the outdated version, so something like this, into the latest version, which might look something like this. OK, so earlier, we defined reports as something that's information that's analyzed, visualized, but I actually left out one key component. Reports are meant to be shared with people like your boss's boss. Someone who might come in and ask you for a super high-level summary on one day, and tomorrow pop in the door and ask you for all the details you might possibly know or even not know. But fortunately for them, it's also very easy to get information at the right level of detail they need. For example, if they're looking at your report and they're interested in the Atlassian mobile app project because there are so many critical issues, they can go into Excel and then filter out the irrelevant work so that they can focus on the issues that they want to look at. But if that's not enough detail for them, they can also click right into the issue and get redirected back into Jira. This way, they'll get all the information they might possibly need right in front of them. And that is how we fulfill your boss's reporting needs. And when those needs are fulfilled, these types of questions all start to disappear one by one so that you can also focus on the important things at hand. And with that, in summary, working with Microsoft's APIs, we built a way for you to quickly generate reports you need based on the teamwork that's happening within your organization so that you can keep everyone in your team informed, move forward together, and unleash the potential of your team. We'd love for you to try this out. We have a desktop version available. You would need an Office 365 license, as well as be on the latest build of Excel. And it's also available on Excel Online. Lastly, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Care, my counterpart at Microsoft. Thank you so much for helping us throughout this entire process. We would not be here on stage without you. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Catherine. That was great. So Catherine showed us a great example of how ISVs can build solutions to go and solve problems for users. I also want to point out that, hey, the model works as well for internal add-ins as well. So if you're building a line of business application internally within your organization, the Office add-ins, centralized deployment, there's a story for you. And with that, wanted to invite Jens on stage to talk about his add-in that we're using at Microsoft. Thanks.
So is this the clicker? Thank you, Kira. Yeah, my name is Jens. I work as a cloud solution architect with Microsoft in Denmark. And I started my career in IT 20 years ago, and my first job was to work in a bank, and my manager told me the first day, go to the business and get rid of all those Excel sheets. And that was my job. So you fast forward 20 years later, and here I am. One of the things that is tasked to cloud solution architects is to estimate what would it cost to move a client to Azure. And that's a complex task. Sometimes we use special tooling. Sometimes we go and estimate and we evaluate everything. But sometimes the only thing the customer will give you is an Excel sheet. And that can have millions of lines, a lot of cells, and a lot of VMs you have to estimate. And when I started in Microsoft, the only way of doing this was to go to the price list, click on everything, and get your prices one by one. And that's a complex case when you have like 5,000 or 10,000 VMs. So I decided to build a tool that could manage that for me using custom functions. So this is the way the tool looks. So you can see it's basically a long chain of systems. But in one end, we have the Azure APIs, the Azure pricing APIs, and they have around 1 million SKUs, 1 million price points that you can quote from. And in the other end, you have Excel. So I could do, like we saw in the demo before, I could just hit an endpoint each time I wanted to price for something, and then I could have a backend component just going through the millions of SKUs. But I quickly realized that all those cells calling the backend, when you design a custom function or user-defined function in Excel, you have to make it scale. You can use it one time in a demo or 10 times, but the way I was using it, I wanted to use it like 5,000 or 10,000 times each time I refresh the sheet. So I don't go and call the backend 10,000 times just to refresh an Excel sheet. So I have to do something. So I went to the Azure toolbox and I built a system that could filter out a kind of working data set for me. So reducing those millions of price points to around 1,000 price points, and then push it to the Excel runtime, and then having Excel searching through that each time a cell was called. So I could keep the data locally to avoid the backend being bombarded with requests. So it actually became quite a success, and I posted it internally, and I got a lot of positive feedback, and people were like, "Wait, this is great. We love it. We love it. It saves a lot of time." But there's also some issues. And yeah, the issues became apparent. So first of all, the VBA code base I started with is not really good at handling memory. So it became kind of slow when you started to have a lot of stuff going on in the Excel sheet. Another thing that was annoying is that I made new versions all the time, and I had to deploy them with these Excel macro-based sheets. And I never knew what version of the tool my users were using. So it was out of date a lot of times. A lot of issues were handled by, have you updated to the latest version? I had no way of controlling that. And people also started to use this on data centers, not with tens of thousands VMs, but maybe with 100,000 VMs. I actually got a request saying, your tool performs really badly with 250,000 VMs. So I had to get back to the drawboard. And I don't know if you can see this already, where this is going, but there's kind of one weak spot in this architecture. And I can point to it here. It's, of course, the VBA part. And then I saw the presentation with the new Excel toolset using JavaScript SDK, and I thought, well, maybe this will solve all my issues. So I redesigned the whole thing actually from ground up. It looks similar, but it's actually 100% recoding of the whole stuff. And I called it XA. You need to have a namespace in Excel with the new JavaScript add-in. So I wanted a really short one, and I just called it XA for Excel Azure. And it's built out of a lot of Azure components. You can see it has two web apps. There's a backend service and a front end. But I actually do capture prices also weekly and store them in blob storage, so I can go back historically and quote prices. And to manage that, I have the whole thing done in Azure DevOps. So I created a build pipeline, and everything is managed from there. Yeah, so I got a lot of positive feedback from this. And yeah, it supports macOS, supports iPad. You can work on it through Excel Online, and via that you can work on it through Teams. And that's really important to a lot of sales teams in Microsoft, that you can share this tool between you and still work on it as a team. And another request I had was to use, people wanted to filter the different products I could quote in the tool, and for that I needed regex. And regex did not really perform that well with the VBA code base, but for JavaScript, it's a native citizen. It really, really performs well on the JavaScript engines. And so all in all, we had major performance improvements. And that's what I'm going to show you now. Okay, my screen is on power save. There we go, we should be going now. Great, so actually here I have an Excel sheet. And if you see here, I have, this is what the tool is for. So I have here a list of VMs. They all have a core configuration and a memory configuration. And I needed to find the equivalent Azure product for that. And for that, I use the custom function. So the green cells here is the JavaScript version of the tool. And you can see if I double click on this cell, it references back to the various components of the VM. And then I have some fixed parameters here. I want to quote this. I want to find the cheapest product in the US West Azure region. I don't want what we call reserved instance, which is a discount scheme we use in Azure. And I want the quote or the price to be in US dollars. So, so that works. And the next cell is actually doing, the same stuff. Going back to the top here. The next cell is doing the same stuff, but it's called get VM price per hour, and then I can multiply that by 730. I get the monthly price for this component. And at the blue side, I actually have the exact same functions, but based on VBA. So, so they are calling the same parameters, except I have the reserved instance discount for VBA called in the bottom cell, and the ones for JavaScript on the top cell. So now I can actually change the bottom cell and the top cell, and you can see the speed difference between the two tools. So let's do that. Does anyone have a clock or a mobile phone? Set your timers. You ready for this? Okay, so let's do the VBA one first. And you can see here at the top cell at the K2, this is the sum. So you're going to watch when that changes. That is when the whole thing is recalculated. So that's basically a. And I'm going to set this to 3. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. So what you see now is in the bottom here that Excel is recalculating all the cells. And it has a progress now, it's like 15 seconds. So the total of this sheet is 3,000 cells, and it has 2 rows. So it's 6,000 cells that needs to be recalculated. And you see it's cracking on it. We are about halfway. And getting there 80, 90. You ready? There we go. 29 seconds. Yeah, let's clap for VBA. All right, so want to see how it works in JavaScript? So remember, I'm doing the exact same thing. Are you ready? Start the clock, 3, 2, 1, and go. Done. Awesome, right? So you see that the JavaScript engines has been built on by browser developers for lots of years now, and they are really, really optimized compared to VBA. So when you're into this world of JavaScript APIs, be ready to have something a lot more modern and a lot more performant than the equivalent in the VBA past. So with that, I'll give it back to Kira.
Cool, thank you, Jens. That slide deck. All right, so we talked about what you can do with add-ins today. and we saw two great examples of Atlassian building an add-in that I want everyone to go out and download today because it just launched into the store as of this morning. And a great example from Jens, who really, I think it was like 2 seconds that I clocked it as. So really cool demo. When Jens emailed me about it, I'm like, my jaw dropped. I'm like, this is really cool. You should come to demo with us. So thank you for doing that. So I wanted to share a bit more about what's new with the add-ins platform. So the Office add-ins platform continues to evolve at a very rapid rate. Over the past few years, or past couple of years, we've been on this journey to accelerate and get as many APIs as possible. So I'm super excited to announce today our 1.10 requirement set just launched. We now have 2,000 JavaScript APIs available for Excel. And in 1.10, we have scenarios that are unblocked in terms of allowing you to create better dashboards as well as co-authoring scenarios around commenting. So definitely worth checking that out. Now, when you look at that Excel user journey, whether it's getting that data, whether it's analyzing that data, creating a visualization so you can share it with others, and prepping that file so it can be shared, we have APIs for every step along that journey. I would say, of course, it doesn't contain everything, but this is where, hey, working with the community, this is where we're going to get your feedback and really figure out, hey, what's that long tail of different APIs that are important to you, and we'll prioritize those. Of course, given that, we do have a wide variety of APIs now, one of the things that we're thinking about is, hey, how do we enhance the other parts of the platform? So one of the things you'll see is we'll start to work on things like our ribbon APIs, more with custom functions, and so on. So one of the things that talking about custom functions that we wanted to share is we now, in preview, have a way to share context between your custom functions and your task panes. So this was one of the things that we heard from developers over the past few months, that, hey, it's really hard to share state. But now it's easy. You have a global variable, you can share it between your task pane and your custom function. With that, we now have support for richer authentication scenarios. So if your service is using HTTP-only cookie-based auth, you can now share that cookie from like your dialogues, task panes to your functions. This enables full CORS support. So that was one of the things we heard on Stack Overflow was, hey, we wanted full CORS, you now have it. And of course, with full CORS, you get the ability to call the Microsoft Graph. So you could create a function that brings in essentially all the emails or the latest email stats that you've read or not. And we've also made it easier to respond to events. So we have a onCalculate event, and that can fire before your task pane needed to be opened, but if a user clicked that X on the corner, then you would lose that event. Now we still allow that task pane to fire. So all in all, we continue to invest in custom functions. We're going to make that richer and more meaningful for folks to use. And likewise, with context sharing, there's an awesome new tutorial that you can check out on our documentation. The theme here is we're just moving beyond just that general task pane that add-ins have. And you'll see us invest in newer areas such as dynamic ribbon, being able to enable disable commands. We hear that quite a bit. Being able to show and hide full ribbon tabs. So imagine you have some data that you imported, like that JSON table that we imported earlier. And given that, hey, that table is a part of my web application, it carries some context with it. So when a user selects that table, I may want to show my own custom ribbon. And so you'll be able to do that in the coming months. The other thing in terms of eventing, well, just like how we talked about with the onCalculated event, will allow any events to fire, even if your task pane isn't open. So this is along the lines of, hey, the workbook contains my data. And when that user opens that workbook, and if they change some things, my add-in doesn't have to be visible, quote unquote, for it to respond to an event. You'll get notified, and then you can essentially call an API to show the task pane and make yourself visible. Likewise, we've also heard one of the surfaces we didn't talk about is your add-in can open up custom dialogues. So today, historically, those dialogues were mainly meant for auth. But working with partners, we've realized, hey, partners want to actually use the dialogues for another surface, like another input surface. And so we're enabling the dialogue to be richer and allowing communication with your dialogues from the task pane. So with that, wanted to highlight, hey, we have great tools, we have great capabilities. We want everyone to get started now, if you haven't, and it's really easy to get started. The one place I would point everyone at is our documentation. So if you go to our doc site, we have some great tutorials, quick starts for you to use. We have great tooling, so there's a Yeoman generator. You can build an add-in in VS Code. We have great design tools such as like Office UI Fabric for React. Of course, you don't need to use React. We like it internally as we build products. We are using React more and more for our web applications. But if you're using Angular, or if you like Vue.js, or even jQuery, I love jQuery, by the way, you can use that within your add-in. And the Yeoman generator will help you get started there. So definitely recommend checking that out. Likewise, you'll see some documentation on Script Lab that we demoed earlier. And we want everyone to engage with us. We have a monthly community call. It's actually, the next one's next Wednesday, where we'll be doing a recap of some of our awesome announcements that we've had at Ignite, including Excel, Outlook, some of the SSO talks that we have later today, as well as, if you didn't hear about it during our keynote, Office scripts. So, and we have some deep dives for that tomorrow as well. So definitely engage with us. This is where you can find the latest and greatest. We're fairly open as a team of what's coming. So all the stuff that I talked about that's coming ahead with ribbon APIs, events, they'll be highlighted and demoed at our community call. And we really want people to be on Insiders, try that out, and give us feedback. Right. Likewise, anytime, you don't have to wait for that monthly call. We're on Stack Overflow for questions. We have a GitHub issue repo, as well as if you have particular feature requests, you can find us on User Voice. And if you do have general feedback, a great place for you or even your users is inside of Office. If you go Files, Send Feedback, that feedback gets back to our engineering team. Right. So with that, to wrap up, we also have some great new training that folks can check out. And if you're at Ignite, you get some free modules, and you also have this ability to become Microsoft 365 certified. So I recommend checking that out. And if you haven't built an Excel add-in before, one of the things you probably need is Office 365. And a great way to get Office 365 is by joining our Office 365 developer program. And so this gives you a free renewable E5 tenant that you can use to build not only on Excel add-ins, but Office add-ins and other technologies within Office. Right. So thank you. Please evaluate the session, and if there's any questions, I think we have about 5 minutes. So, right. Cool. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. If you have questions, if you can come up to the mic, so the recording. Which tool was it? So it was the question, can we have Jens's tool? Oh, I'll let Jens answer that one.
It's not on GitHub yet, but I think I can. You can get it, Chanel. Just for you.
Cool. Any other questions? Yeah.
I noticed that the custom ribbon doesn't work in iPad or iOS. Is that a plan to make it?
Yeah, so that's also on our backlog. I think one of the things we'll do is bring the custom ribbon and ribbon capabilities to Windows, Mac, and online first. But then we will eventually bring that to the mobile as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
2 quick questions. One to Catherine. Jira, that's awesome. We're using Jira. We're also using Trello. That's also from Atlassian, right?
Yes.
Is something like that coming up also for Trello?
Good to hear your feedback. I don't think there are plans to as of today, but if you do have any suggestions, feel free to post on the community page at Atlassian.
Cool, thanks. The other one to Jens. So love the speed. Hand aufs Herz, to be honest. How much of the speed improvement was because you also remodeled all the backend and didn't really come just from the JavaScript in Excel rather than for the whole thing?
I would actually say none, because the remodeling of the backend is more about I used Azure CDN for proxying, and I now do that with an in-memory proxy module in front of that. So that's so none of that was actually due to the backend. The demo you saw here, everything was actually cached in the runtime beforehand, so there were no requests. So the backend was actually not involved in the head-to-head between VBA and JavaScript.
Cool, thanks.
And with custom functions, one of the things Jens talked about was batching, because you don't want to continue to make requests. So on our documentation, we have a great tutorial that walks you through a batching pattern that you can apply.
My question was kind of related to that. So I wanted to know how you mentioned something about like pushing some data back to Excel to process locally rather than doing it on the server. Could you elaborate how you did that?
Let's talk about the new model, because that's the most fun one. So basically, when you have a JavaScript runtime in Excel, you can actually just store objects in that. So you can just have a variable you extend. So what I do is I have these working data set I talked about. I have an array of those. And each time the function doesn't find an object that corresponds to the parameters, it will then move to a function and fetch it from the backend. So each time it doesn't find the data it needs, it just fetches it from the backend and add it to the pool locally. So the more you use it, the quicker and the more data it will store locally. So that's one way of caching locally, and I can highly recommend that. And processing through and iterating through those JavaScript arrays is much more quicker than any way you can do it in VBA.
Thank you. Just another question regarding the dialogue enhancements that you mentioned. Are they coming to Outlook also?
Yeah. Yep. So the dialogues, like the dialogue API is shared, so they'll come across the board.
Thank you.
And Juan has a session on Outlook tomorrow as well. With that, we have a few minutes left. If you do have more questions on Office add-ins, right after this, there's a roundtable discussion in room 309, I believe. So we'll be there as well if you have additional feedback. Cool. Thank you all.